And welcome to the Bar Down Hockey Show. That was Chelsea Dagger.
Alright, I'm sorry.
Somebody's a little bit excited.
Dude, I'm freaking pumped up right now for this podcast today.
Well, let's use that energy.
Josh is so confused right now.
I am confused. Let's use that energy, Ethan, in a positive manner. Let's talk about ASU hockey, man.
Alright, we're coming.
Hockey.
What are you, Ryan Sharp, Kraken?
That's gnarly, dude. No, for real. We're gonna bring you some Arizona updates here. ASU hockey coming off last week in a big upset over number 17 Quinnipiac. They won that game 4-2. Traveled to Kalamazoo, Michigan, to take on the number 9 ranked Western Michigan.
I think Liesl wants to say something.
I don't want to say anything. I'm just over here.
She's wilding in the studio right now. No. But hey, the Sun Devils kept it close in the first game, 3-2 until the final seconds when the Broncos netted an empty net goal.
Did they net an empty net goal?
Yeah, they netted an empty net goal.
Nice,
it's kind of depressing. And then the second game, actually, the Sun Devils won in double OT, but thanks to the NCHC, it goes down as a tie.
You want to explain that?
Hey, ASU won. It wasn't a tie, Western Michigan. No. But for real, oh my goodness. No, but...
Oh my goodness, absolute, oh my god. All right.
No, but
I'm stepping away from the mic for a second.
Let me just explain what happened. So, the game went into double OT, but for the conference that the Western Michigan Broncos are in, the NCHC, they don't do a 5-minute overtime and then a shootout like the regular NCAA calls for. Yeah, so it's really weird. I'm not really. It was complicated. I had to do some research last night, but just to give you guys kind of the spiel what happened, they did a regular 5-on-5 overtime. I'm pretty sure, and then the second OT was 3-on-3. But once it goes into that second OT, it goes down as a tie for both teams. But Predators draft pick Wade Murphy scored in the double OT to end the game, but apparently we tie these days, giving out participation trophies.
I hate those stupid participation trophies.
I feel like that's a different path.
No, it's not a different path. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, congratulations, you just played how many minutes of your life away, and here's a freaking participation trophy. Not even a winner.
She looked at her wrist at the invisible watch.
You didn't even look at like the outside of your wrist like most people do. You look at the inside.
I know!
Do you wear your watch on the inside of your wrist?
Yeah, that's where my pulse is at.
Hey, but anyways, the Sun Devils they got some momentum still. It's a tie, whatever. But momentum coming back next weekend to take on Simon Fraser.
And Simon Fraser's from Canada, so that's that's going to be a serious game.
Yeah, I mean, Simon Fraser's not that good, but
they're from Canada.
No, it's gonna be a fun series. They're back home for the last time this season, and then after that, the next weekend they travel to Michigan to take on the Team USA U18 development team. So Arizona State kind of ending their season on a high note so far. But the women's team also had a big game yesterday. Liesl?
They did. They had a phenomenal game. Unfortunately, like the ASU men's team, they have to travel a lot this entire season because they're just getting their program started. For any of you who don't know, ASU does have a women's hockey team, so that's really exciting for them. Their game yesterday was their breast cancer awareness game, so they were wearing pink, really cool. Their jerseys looked really slick, to be honest with you. They ended up winning their first game against Denver. It was a 5-3 win, and so that's pretty exciting for ASU to have their final score of that. And Amber Gallis, I'm not sure on the last name, but she had her first hat trick in the program history of ASU, so that's even more fantastic. So super exciting. They do play Denver today at 11:15, which is ongoing right now. And their second period is currently on the way, and it is tied 0-0. So I think that's really fantastic for them. They are a club sport right now. They do have 2 commits for the upcoming seasons. The 2017-2018 season, Aubrey Beskid, and the 2018-2019 season, Olivia Bolin. So I think that's wonderful that they're getting commits in here and trying to be more successful as a program.
Yeah, it's all about building blocks. The ASU men's team kind of took this same approach early on, playing in ACHA club hockey and becoming really studly in ACHA hockey.
Don't think that's a word, but
yeah, no, you looked it up. It is a freaking word, you jerk. No, but it's all like it's just like the Philadelphia 76ers. Trust the process.
Sixers? Sixers.
I said
Sixers.
Sixers.
You said Sixers.
All right, well,
S-I-X-T-E-R-S.
get off my butt, Josh.
Just
Get
let
out
it
of here, you
happen.
grease ball. You're freaking greasing up the studio right now. No, but the 76ers, trust the process, whatever, you get it. Okay. No,
You know who
but
else is trusting the process? The
Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
Yes.
wait,
I mean,
no.
really
Let's
have-
sink.
No,
Roll me a
this
soda.
is how I feel about the Arizona Coyotes. Y'all ready?
Garbage.
That's probably the most insightful analysis that you could possibly give about the Arizona Coyotes right now.
But they did beat the Stanley Cup runner-ups, the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, a
Our
shootout
friend
thriller.
Nick, San Jose Sharks. Nick's a
Yeah.
huge Sharks
They
fan.
lost they won they won in a shutout or
Shootout.
shootout.
3-2.
3-2. But they were losing to Chicago
I'm not
4-3,
surprised.
and they lost to the Kings. Tell us about that game. I believe Ethan, weren't you at that game last Tuesday where they lost 3-2?
Oh yeah, it was a great game all around. Teams were pretty even. Actually, the Coyotes got off to the fast start right away, but it was 2-2 late in the third. The Kings got a pretty soft penalty, or they went on the power play, pretty soft call on the Yotes, and the Kings were able to capitalize on the power play as time was winding down. I believe there was 1:50 left remaining in the game when they scored.
Well, you said Mike Smith stood on his head, though.
Yeah, Mike Smith had 37 saves. Pretty big effort from him despite losing
maybe
the game.
an all-star effort, maybe an effort that would earn him his money, Liesl.
Not
Yeah,
worth it
Liesl
still.
not happy about him being paid more than Andre Fleury for the Penguins, but
Just not worth it.
yeah, I mean, Mike Smith had a pretty solid season though, despite how bad the Coyotes are.
That is true. I will give him that. He is, tried hard to keep this team afloat, even though they're slowly sinking to the bottom of the ocean.
I mean,
they're
I saw-
trying.
And Coyotes can't swim. So.
I saw a stat that Mike Smith is 6-0-2 in games this season when he faces 40 or more shots. That's incredible, honestly.
That's absolutely
I mean, the goaltender's gonna have to face 40 shots in a lot of games that he starts being on the Coyotes. It's just like
And you would think when you face a lot of shots, right, that means your team doesn't have the puck a lot, so they can't get a lot of shots, which means they can't score a lot. So you would think it's harder. It would be harder when you face 40 more shots, you would have a bad record. But
yeah,
Mike Smith's stepping up his game.
yeah. I think he likes it. He likes the pressure and just constantly under the heat during a game. Like it seemed like his play improved more when the Kings were on the attack in that game. But I mean, going forward from here,
On a more positive note, for Arizona sports, specifically hockey, obviously, Austin Matthews, a little bit of an update from Ethan. He got us an update for Austin Matthews, who's being so successful from Scottsdale, Arizona. If you did not know that, which you should if you're an Arizona person, you should know.
Austin Matthews, a lot of he's a fan favorite here in the Phoenix area.
Probably also the Scottsdale area. Since he's from
Scottsdale's under the Phoenix area in my book.
It's a
What
suburb.
book is that?
All right, folks. Josh is trying to drop the gloves in the studio. He's trying to pick a fight with me. He's trying to instigate. No, but through 50 games played, Austin Matthews has 23 goals and 19 assists for a total of 42 points. Trying to make a statement for Rookie of the Year. I feel like he can honestly win it and be a big. It would be huge for Arizona area, especially with all the growth lately, the success of ASU hockey, and sadly the Coyotes aren't on the same page. But just to fill you in on some more Arizona hockey news, the last thing we got, Liesl can fill it in more, but ASU dropped out of the new arena building in Tempe.
They did, Ethan. This happened late Friday night. I saw it on my Twitter feed. It popped right up, and people were absolute in a panic. It came from a couple kids who retweeted it from the state press at ASU, and I, automatically jumped on that article. And ASU pulled out of their deal with the Arizona Coyotes to build an arena in Tempe. That's a big ordeal because Arizona Coyotes do not have a backup plan for what they were going to do. I don't think anybody was expecting ASU to back out or either side to back out for a matter of both of them. So I think it's a pretty touchy subject right now. It's really unfortunate that is happening. It's kind of unknown right now why ASU pulled out. I've heard a lot of rumors going around, especially the dorm rooms, of what ASU's financial needs and stuff like that. But I don't want to go too much in detail to that because, I don't want to give you the wrong facts.
I think ASU might have dropped out of it because there's talks about them getting in more of like an Olympic Village kind of thing instead.
Yeah, I heard that because I think ASU's trying to pull the Olympics here. God knows why. I mean, right now. When you go down to Tempe, there's not that much land. Fantastic if you get the Olympics, but it's really unfortunate because that's only a short-term thing, and a lot of those Olympic villages end up going to waste because they're never touched again.
But being a high-end D1 athletic school, it might actually benefit. There would be more practice facilities, and even, I'm sure the Olympic Village would be geared more toward warm weather sports.
Obviously,
so I'm not sure how they would. I'm sure there could be an arena that they could put a sheet of ice in that they make, but not really sure how they work out. The ASU men's team, their lease ends with Oceanside River.
Oceanside Ice Arena. You're good.
Ice Arena might be.
It's bad because it's bad on both ends. The Arizona Coyotes are looking for a place to go, and there's fans and everyone are in panic of what are they doing. And then ASU, you mentioned their lease is up with Oceanside. That's not a good pull-in to bring in recruits because if they don't have a permanent place to stay, nobody wants to go play out at Gila River. It's a nice arena, don't get me wrong, but students do not travel to go see games.
Year that
exactly.
You have to pay to Uber or Lyft there if you don't have a car, and
it becomes a travel.
It can get expensive, even if you are going with 3 or 4 friends. You can't always go with 3 or 4 friends. People have homework. People have stuff to do. So again, it's probably a good move for the Coyotes and ASU to move to Tempe, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Well, we all know that Oceanside Arena is
garbage,
but it'll be interesting to see
you
what
really
they
like
can
that
do.
soundbite.
I really do. It makes me really happy.
I just hope in the long run for both teams it ends up being successful. However, we'll keep you updated throughout the rest of the semester. We're going all the way through May, for those of you who don't know, but we'll keep you updated as much as we can about that process because I know that is, a big question for a lot of homies who are here in
homies.
Well, you guys
in Arizona.
You guys were talking about we all were talking about Austin Matthews. He's helping the Toronto Maple Leafs keep some relevance this season. They're in 9th place in the East, trying to make a push and make the playoffs. They've been missing it most seasons as of late. So hopefully the Arizona native rookie can help them be a little relevant again.
Well, on a more positive note for my life, so depressing for Arizona people. However, the Penguins, they won against the St. Louis Blues last night, 4-1. and they played their former assistant coach from a long time ago, Mike Yao, which when I was younger I used to call him Mike because it was just funny for me. Still kind of is comical.
Yo, Mike.
Just kind of pushing that out. But they, just hired him because they fired Ken Hitchcock. So where does that leave the Blues? I mean,
well, right now it looks like it leaves them in 9th place.
They fired him to maybe make a message. What's that message that they're trying to send to the team? I mean, obviously now they just lost to the Penguins.
We're not really gonna know, like, what the real reason was. Like, we don't know on that level. Maybe Hitchcock just wasn't. LOL Hitchcock. But no, he just wasn't meshing the team right. Or
so
he wasn't. We're not really sure what the chemistry was. Maybe they just really felt like a change was needed right away. But it is weird because we found a little statistic that in Hitchcock's career with the Blues, he had 248 wins and 124 losses. So statistically, he's winning every 2 out of 3 games with St. Louis.
So that's a ratio. Can you break down that ratio a little more like you were in Tempe? I know it's really hard to get into frat parties because you always need a stupid ratio. Is that kind of what it's like? Is it equal to that?
Yeah, it's like...
Ethan had some trouble with getting to frat parties last night.
No.
The ratio wasn't always matching up for him.
It's like struggling to get into a frat party.
It is.
Ken Hitchcock's trying to go throw down some brews and... he honestly might now. Got fired. Might as well go down to.
Well, where does he end up? You'll say he goes into the Caribbean for this last couple months, but where does he end up for next season? Does he go to the New York Islanders, Josh? Does he go to the Colorado Avalanche? I mean, where does he leave with his coaching career?
I think it depends on what he wants to do. If he wants to take on a project, then I could see him going to Colorado, Arizona, maybe even a team like Dallas that our friend Kat likes. Detroit, maybe Buffalo or Tampa Bay, like some bottom of the conference teams. If the Islanders make the playoffs, I think they're going to keep Doug Weight. But if they don't, or if they just miss it, I could see Hitch coming over to New York, maybe helping them out. But
that's Hitchcock.
I like to call him Hitch.
Hitchcock.
Either way, I actually saw some news about the Islanders. I don't know if you guys saw it, but apparently Connecticut is making a pitch for the Islanders to move over there.
Why?
Well, I did say that they weren't going to be in the Barclays Center.
Are you kidding me?
They're not going to be in the Barclays Center.
The Barclays Center is a good arena, dude.
It's a
garbage it's not.
Arena. It is. It's a garbage arena.
How is Barclays garbage?
It's not that
good.
It's a
new
you
facility.
Can't see the ice.
No, you
from
can't.
A certain angle
There's actually a
because
section.
The scoreboard blocks it.
There's a certain section in the arena that they have a car sitting there.
It's just sitting there.
And it's like taking up seats. Like, what the hell is the car doing there? Like,
why is there a car there?
Advertisement. I don't know.
That's what this world's turned into, advertisement.
Don't just put a car in a hockey arena.
So
dude,
Connecticut.
Barclays Center is better than that garbage arena I know that they were in Long Island.
Okay,
isn't it?
Nassau Coliseum
it's
was garbage in every way, except for the fact that it was a good hockey arena and it had history. Yeah. Barclays has no history. It has a freaking car next to the ice, and you can't even see the ice because of the scoreboard.
Okay, so pitch me the deal that they're in Connecticut.
I don't want them to go to Connecticut. I want them going back to Long Island.
So what would they be?
The Hartford Islanders?
Yeah. What do they be?
They're the Hartford Whalers again.
Oh my God. Could you imagine no more Islanders? Wow.
Unnut
to that. That would be just so unsatisfactory for everybody.
I don't know if I could...
Feeling squirrely today.
I don't know. I'd have to question... If they change their name, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
I mean,
would you stop being a fan?
I like the Hartford.
If they changed it from the Islanders to the Whalers...
Hartford Whalers? You don't remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
Dude, Hartford Whalers are dank, dude.
Okay,
they're cooler than the
understand.
Islanders.
How many cups do they have?
No.
Because I remember the Islanders having 4, right? And the
When's the last time that you won, though? Can you give me that timetable, Josh?
Well, if we're going to talk about history,
the Islanders have been a franchise like 3 times as long than the Predators, so you can't give me that BS.
Well, okay, so but the Islanders, they're being pretty successful right now, right? I mean, they've won a lot of their last couple games. What is the stats on that?
6 out of 9.
6 out of 9 of their last 9. Six wins in 9 games.
Great job. Great
yeah,
job.
I can't. I'm
those numbers.
Yeah, I know it sucks. But for real, 14 points in that stretch. Some OT losses, right?
Yeah.
They still
also
get a point
suffered,
when they pull out an OT,
they
though.
suffered 2 OT losses. I thought they should have taken a third OT loss there.
So
to the Detroit Red Wings.
Let me ask you, Josh.
Regulation.
What do you think Doug Waite is doing differently?
I think Doug Waite, being a former player for the Islanders, I think he's just able to connect to the players more and be like, hey, that was some crappy efforts you were giving out there. Let's actually try this time and see what happens. And, they tried. I think a huge move was actually getting rid of Yaroslav Halak. He wasn't playing well. They had 3. Yeah, garbage. And they had a 3 goalie system there, which just never really works. And
it never does.
Grice has been playing decent recently. He's given up a few goals, but he's been playing a lot better than Halak was playing. And Marube, the future of the Islanders, who's actually a good goalie, and I'm saying that for our friend Jeremy Bush, who said he is not a good goalie.
Well, Jeremy Bush, never mind.
He likes the Rangers.
Fan, so I mean,
can't listen to what Ranger
wrong.
people have to say.
Well, I mean,
he's just wrong.
Well, obviously,
except for the Yankees.
So the biggest NHL news lately was Hitchcock out, Yao in for the Blues, and Islanders having Doug Waite as an interim coach. But you guys were talking about it the other day, the Winter Olympics issue.
Yeah, the Winter Olympics.
I don't know if you want to fill in the fans about that news, because I hadn't seen it until you guys told me.
The NHL doesn't want its players participating in the Winter Olympics, and Liesl is against this. I am for it.
Whoa. Are you serious?
I'm for it. And
we're not on the same page
listen,
here?
Here's why.
Okay.
Last Winter Olympics, the Islanders were having a good season. John Tavares goes to play in the Winter Olympics, breaks his leg out for the season.
He broke his leg?
He broke his leg in the Winter Olympics.
I don't remember that. I didn't know he broke his leg.
It was just so upsetting because that
sucks.
They turned to the likes of Kyle Oposo to lead the team. Kyle Oposo's not going to lead the team.
I mean,
I look at it as that Olympics are for the best athletes in the entire world.
Yep.
And the NHL is where the strong majority of these hockey players are at that are the best athletes in their sport. And don't get me wrong, I understand the injury issue and all of that, but what are you gaining by putting college kids out there? I understand that's a great experience for them. Don't get me, that's phenomenal.
A miracle on ice.
But yeah, it's a miracle on ice. But you want to go.
We should watch that movie.
We should. You want to sit down and you want to watch the best athletes compete in the entire world. I remember when Sidney Crosby won the gold medal against the U.S. team for Canada. And that was, that was a fantastic moment to watch for anybody.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Josh. I'm on Liesl's side. There's nothing more entertaining to me than the Winter Olympics hockey. It's such a beautiful thing.
Really
so the Winter Olympics are next year, right?
Yes.
So Pekka Rinne, he
plays for Finland.
Plays for Finland, right? Predators having a pretty good season. Let's say they're in 4th place in their conference, right? He gets injured. He tears him
that
up
sucks. But
and
I want him to represent his country.
You guys missed the playoffs because of that.
I think.
I mean, granted,
you
I'm not going to blame it on the Olympics. No. That injury could have happened in an NHL game, bro.
I do
Wouldn't you
agree.
rather it happened in an NHL game now?
No, I mean,
because as a former athlete, I would want to go represent my country, and I would want the people who support me to support that decision to go represent my country.
Yeah,
because I think that is a high bar to say you go out there and you play for Team Canada, or you go play for Team USA.
And it's so amazing because it's the top of the line, high caliber hockey. They're just giving it all for their countries. It's more of a, more of a heart thing.
I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about it.
It's more than, you're not playing for the money. You're playing for
your
country. And
I think they definitely.
And that's awesome hockey to watch.
And players do understand there is a liability when you go out there and play. They
understand. That's why they get paid the big bucks. And I get what you're saying. The NHL pays them a lot, and then for them just to go get hurt internationally kind of sucks. But I mean, still, like, you can't take that away from the fans. Like, I love seeing Pekka play in net for Finland, and I love seeing Crosby play for Canada, and Patrick Kane playing for the U.S. It's a beautiful sight, and I watch it every year. I keep up with all those games every.
And I think the coolest part,
or
not
every year,
it,
but every season.
The
every
coolest
time
part about the Olympics is the fact that everyone can sit down and step away from their NHL teams and play on the same team and be friends and enjoy themselves. Yeah, and it's not all about. I mean, yes, it's competitive, but at the same time, it's
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with that, but moving. Let's get to talking about the playoff push and the trade deadline's coming up, obviously. I want to ask you guys, just a quick touch. I want to ask you guys, who are you guys looking out for to make a push for the playoffs, and what individual players do you see kind of coming out of the woodwork for toward the end of the season here?
Well, I definitely feel in the Pacific Division, the Edmonton Oilers are finally stepping up to the plate and batting and hitting home runs. They've taken the crap the last couple years because they've gotten high draft picks and they haven't been successful. However, they're third in the Pacific Division behind the Sharks and the Ducks. And I think they can definitely make a playoff push, and they can even make make their opposing team in the first round go to 7 games, which nobody wants to go to 7 games in the first round. So I definitely feel like they're a team to look out for. What do you think, Josh?
I mean, I kind of like the Ottawa Senators. They're kind of a surprise team out of the Atlantic. Atlantic's not super strong this year. They have Montreal is kind of running away with this, but then you have Ottawa, Boston, Florida, Carolina, all kind of really tight packed in there. Like a bunch of sardines there. But Ottawa seems to be separating itself from everyone else. They're 2 points ahead of Boston. They're 4 points ahead of Florida. And honestly, Ottawa's been a team on the fringe for a while. And they've played 15 games. They're 27, 17, and 6. Plus 2 goal differential. I don't know. Maybe they can edge out a series win in the first round, get to the second round, and actually make a run for something.
What do you think, Ethan?
I'm going to throw the pitch for, I don't necessarily care for them that much, but I'm going to throw the pitch for the Los Angeles Kings. They're hot right now. They won their last 5 games. Struggling right now at the playing the Capitals live right now. They're down 4-0. But Jeff Carter, man, he's on a tear. He's scored, I think I've seen, I want to say 40% of the Kings' points this season. That's pretty crazy. So, it kind of reminds me of the 2011-2012 season where they were the underdog and they came in under the radar, came in as that A seed and just flat out steamrolled these teams in the playoffs. They won 4-1 in the first series, 4-0 second, in the conference finals 4-1, and then they won the Stanley Cup. They were just on a tear, and because they got hot at the right time, and I feel like the Kings are hot right now. And Peter Budaj is their goaltender because Quick's been out, and he has the most shutouts in the NHL right now with 7. But we're coming down to a close here. I just want to see if you guys think of any big moves that might be on the rise. Just real quick, any players you see changing locations by the trade deadline?
Obviously, Marc-Andre Fleury is always, we'll see what the Penguins do with that. But just a quick mention, a little small stat before we end right now. Sidney Crosby is 3 points away from his 1,000th point in the NHL, and I'm super excited because I will get to see Sidney Crosby and the Penguins play twice this week. I traveled to Denver to see them play the Avs on Thursday, and then I also get to see them play on Saturday against the Arizona Coyotes here. So maybe he can just settle down, and maybe I get to see his 1,000th point on Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, I will literally cry in tears.
He's one of the younger players to get to 1,000 points, too.
He's at 29, and that's pretty phenomenal before 30.
Yeah, that's going to wrap up our show today. I think it was a good show. We really appreciate you guys taking time to listen in. And we're going to get a Twitter fired up for you. I believe the handle is just going to be at Bar Down Hockey.
At Bar Down Hockey
Talk
show.
show or
I
this
think
show?
just show.
Well, we're gonna get
We're
that fired
gonna-
up, and we'll let you guys know.
We'll either announce it, I think, either next week
But
or the week
For
after.
the meantime, you can follow us on our social medias. Josh,
I'm at Josh Zaklis, so that's JOSZAKLIS, Les Zaks.
all right, and then mine's the Ethan Schmidt, TheEthanSchmidt, and you can follow Liesl Babicka at
Liesl, Liesl _Lee, Lee, and, see my updates of seeing the Penguins this week. But thank you for listening in to Bar Down Hockey Show, and we hope you have a wonderful week, folks.